Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. I am glad you're here. Before we get started, if you get a chance and you're so inclined, please hit that subscribe button below. And if you hit the bell notification, it will notify you when I upload videos, and it'll let YouTube know that you engage with my channel, which hopefully exposes my content to more people who might not otherwise see it. And I also have channel memberships enabled. You guys can check that out if you're so inclined. But today I wanted to do a long-term review slash overview of the Vero Axon. This is the liner lock version of the Vero Axon. It is one I picked up about a year and a half ago. It came with these Micarta scales, really nice Micarta. It's either a canvas, I think it's a canvas micarta. It's really taken on a good patina. It's aged well. This knife has titanium liners, and they're inset. They're done very well. I don't know if I can get it down in there for you guys, but there is weight relief. Why is it not focusing? Titanium, there you go. There's that inset titanium liner that has a lot of weight relief. Then it has a titanium liner lock with weight relief on the back there. It does have a steel lock bar insert. Very light knife. I was amazed when I got this knife at actually how light it is in the hand. Vero came out, I don't know, about 6, maybe 8 months, maybe sooner, and I just was aware of it 6 or 8 months after this knife dropped. And he has some G10 replacement scales that are kind of a black with the white veining, kind of marbly looking. I picked up a set. I had them on this knife for a long time. Looks really cool, really easy to do the scale swap. I should have had them to show you guys here in the video. They were only like 40 bucks. The thing I like more about the micarta is I'm kind of a micarta guy. I like the organic nature of the texture. The G10, even though it looks really cool, is kind of smooth. And to me, just after a while, didn't have as much personality. So I like the micarta. Vero does use M390 on his blades. You'll notice here on the spine, he has a little very non-abrasive branding with just Vero right there on the spine. The blade is 100% sterile. Nothing on the blade. You've got this nice satin, kind of belt satin finish blade with a nice vertical finished belt satin swedge. And then I love the way that this little inset where you flick is kind of stonewashed. It's got a totally different texture to it. This knife, again, since I've taken it apart a couple of times, it does use T8s for the pivot, T8s for the body screws, T8s all the way around. So literally it's 3 screw construction. Very easy to take apart, to clean. I did put skiff bearings in this, did a bearing swap on it because I had it apart. You've got this 3/4 part of the back spacer, or 3/4, almost a full back spacer, titanium, which doesn't add any weight. It's got the Vero clip. A lot of people complain about this clip. It's not fully deep carry. I don't have a hard time getting it in and out of khakis. On my 511 jeans and some of my thicker Levi's, it might take a little bit of, not finagling, but it's just not as smooth as some of the others. I don't think it's a deal breaker. I love the knife. Clip or no clip, I would be all over it. Because again, it is functional, so I didn't want to draw too much attention to that. It has nice jimping here on the blade spine, but it's not very aggressive, but it doesn't need to be, because I kind of look at this as a 2-grip knife. It's got a nice ergonomically, I guess you'd call that milled out handle that fits my 4 fingers just fine. My dirty hands, I apologize, guys. I can choke up if I need to get higher up on that blade, or if I need to do more detail cuts, utility cuts. The action on this knife is amazing. It is a top flipper or front flipper. I'm not a front flipper guy, as I think I've shared with y'all. This is one that is very easy to manipulate a bunch of different ways. But again, for some reason, front flipping just doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't crank my tractor. I'm just more of a flicker, slow roller, really just a middle finger flicker. But yeah, the Vero Axon, I've looked at several frame locks that have come up for sale, and it might be another knife that I add to my collection because I've been very pleased with Vero knives. The Axon was always kind of my favorite. It's not the most expensive or the most, I guess you'd say, refined of the Vero knives, but I find it just a great Wharncliffe style EDC, light, easy on the pocket, but a little bit larger, full-size knife that, again, is, to me, just kind of an understated, elegant knife. And again, it's M390 in Micarta. Let me see real quick. If I can't find these right away, I'll be right back. But I'm going to see if I can grab these scales. They're not in that pile. Hold on, guys. All right, guys, I've just come to the realization that I should have my shit more in a pile, and I've got way too many scales and accessories for other knives. So these are the G10 carbon fiber, but I felt like those were worth a look because, again, those are like a $40 upgrade. I'll probably put these on again at some point. They are a little bit slick, but they fit those inset liners just fine. These were offered by Vero, so they are pretty much exact replicas of what you find on the micarta, but really just change over the look of that knife altogether. Kind of give it that stormtroopery look. But anyway, that didn't add anything to the review. I just apologize for taking away 2 or 3 minutes of y'all's time while I look through my drawers for those scales. But let's do a couple of quick size comparisons, get back on track so y'all can enjoy the rest of your day. So let's put the Axon up next to the Cold Steel 4MAX, which it's going to be smaller than. And let's look at it next to the Civivi Baby Banter, also in micarta, which is going to be quite a bit larger than. No big surprise there. So let's look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out. About a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch smaller than the Bug Out. And let's look at it next to our Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Spyderco Paramilitary 2 is about a 1/4 inch longer than our Axon. So just to give y'all some quick dimensions, which I'll also try to have in the description, the blade is coming in right at 3.5 inches. The handle from the very tip is coming in right a sconce over 4.5 inches. Thickness of the knife is coming in right under 1/2 inch. And then the height at its narrowest is 3/4 inch, and at its thickest, 1 inch. How boring was that, guys? And the paper clip or pocket clip is 2.5 inches, but it only carries to 2.1/8 inch. So there's some dimensions. That's why I don't do dimensions. I'll refer to the manufacturer specs, because if I have to walk over the table and get the calipers, we're all in for just a painful me trying to read the calipers. But one thing I like about this knife, in addition to the things that I've mentioned earlier, is it does have a very nice rounded out area that your hand fits in. It doesn't have any more relief on the show side than it does the lock side, but I can get great access to that lock bar. There's absolutely no problem. It doesn't have any jimping, but it's very sure. I mean, it's with whether my hand's wet, oily, dry, whether I'm wearing a glove or not, that lock bar is very easy to manipulate. For those of you who like very hard, tight detents, this knife is not that. This knife is not a, I could probably shake it out. Let's see. Yeah, I have to shake it really hard, but I can shake it out. Again, it's not, I consider it just for me perfect. Because I'm a middle finger flick guy, and again, if I'm a top flipper guy, that's the kind of action you want. But again, this is the Vero Axon, guys. I can highly recommend this knife. I've handled, I think, most of Joseph's knives at Blade Show last year and up at the Nashville Custom Knife Show, and I'm a big fan of his. Some of the knives just don't necessarily resonate with me like some of the others do, but there are others that I hope to someday draw into the collection. I appreciate y'all stopping by. I would appreciate, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It does help the channel grow, and hopefully it'll give you guys notifications of when I've got new content out, or something that just comes out that I didn't plan to release, or a live stream, something that's going on. But most importantly, and the one thing I ask of you after every video, is please do look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Move forward with love in your heart. And when in disagreement, choose debate over hate. I love you all, guys. Till we talk again, peace.